sense that just asking for both models to be bid is in the mix. We can let the property managers investigate these things, try to propose to us. We might build into the contract. Let's say we go up with a company that gave us a contract, Model B style. We could build into that contract if it turns out that we are getting a certain rate of complaints from homeowners that they're not able to access, they're not able to do things that they used to be able to do by coming into the office and they can't find you. You're going to have to respond to this as, you're going to have to deal with that. In a way, this raises the central reason that I became convinced that we should take this seriously. And it was something that Beth told me when we were having our first conversation with us. She said, when you hire others to do something for you, you hire a company, you tell them what you want, and when they don't do what you want, you can go to them and say, fix it. We did this even with Mac Gray, which has a virtual monopoly in the Front Range, and we still got what we wanted from them. And we got things from them more readily than we were able to get from some of our own staff. I'm not talking about Barney, I'm talking about some other people that aren't here anymore. So one of the advantages of hiring other people is you can say, we've got this problem. People say they can't reach you. Do you think with a community this large, this activated as we are now, with a board this large that meets every month, they're going to get away with anything for very long? So it seems to me that there are ways to try to protect ourselves against what we're imagining could go wrong. And we should be trying to build those into the contracts that we arrange. If we like the money, if we like the numbers, remember that the other things we have to consider first. The money, right, is top. But also the quality of the services. We haven't been happy with the services we've been receiving overall. That's why we're here. We have to keep that in mind too as we try to look at.
Well, you need to keep also in mind the fact that anybody can say, if you're bringing in 800,000, I can give you services for 600,000 and not deliver.
I know.
Anybody can come in and say anything, and it doesn't make it true.
You need to make sure they're also going to be able to handle this assessment bidding. I hope you're including that in the cost, because you got to have a contractor handling $1 million of bids.
Yeah, I know. Well, these are all things that, the risk that Lynn just pointed out is a risk that you face whenever you hire anyone to do anything. Now, we actually have hired people to do what is being done now. And sometimes we got it right, and sometimes we didn't get it so right. Barney, you hired people for us. How did that work out? Was it always?
No, as long as you have recourse to change, I think you're going to be fine.
People are people, and some will do what you ask, and some will not.
Well, I would think that the reputation of the company, these people have been doing this for a while. Are we really imagining that we're going to not be able to tell the good lawyers from the bad lawyers if we talk to the people who use them?
Sure.
It seems to me that we should be able to find out whether we're facing a really mixed bag and a worrisome array of bids and companies, or whether we have reasons. And it's hard to be confident if you haven't heard people, if you haven't seen the evidence. But I have to tell you that an additional reason I think we should seriously consider this is that the regulatory environment in which associations like ours operate is changing, and it's becoming more rigorous. And we need people who know what the hell who know all of that too. And a larger company is in a position to assign someone the task of investigating the law. Barney has tried to, to do 50, to do 3 or 4 of these things, and he's done some of them well, and others he had to, just as I've dropped the ball.
It's too much with the regulations.
Several things that I was meaning.
Are you trying to talk us into having people submit bids? Because I think,
Yeah. Well, I was just giving you my reasoning for thinking we should go ahead. That's all.
You have to bid this every
Let's do it.
You have to bid it.
Okay.
So,
Every 5 years we bid.
I was just responding to
I have just one more addition, because
Sure.
we're engaging the question of, do we want to vote on Model A, Model B, both models, what is that? And I think that there was a really important point brought out. If our conversation is about saving money and about figuring out the most efficient and effective way to serve the needs of this community, we also need to have option C, which is, what would you do? If we gave you the reins, management company, and you could control the budget, you could control whatever. you know,
Great, I mean, in a sense, that's
Whatever
built
you
into
want.
that one thing that Scott
This
suggested
is
we add,
exactly. Yeah.
which is basically not just their template, not their but what's your response? Here are the services. I'm going to give them the list of just the raw list of the services and all the vendors we use, in addition to this thing, which is a cleaned up version. So they'll know all the things that anybody ever is hired to do. So they'll be able to surmise the things that are being done.
Well, we can put it in the form of an RFP and ask every
Yes, we
question we
could.
feel like. That's just standard. If we have anything, we can come up with the RFP. You know, we're trying to make it so that we vote on something in a month from now. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
the
we got
hope
a
is
lot
that
of-
we would be settling this in the middle of December.
Well, we've got a lot of ground to cover, but that's one of the ways that we can.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's a.
What worries me the most is that I think it's rushing.
Yeah, for sure.
That truly worries
It may
me.
be, but can we afford
To delay.
16 months
Yeah.
to make another decision?
But
As the management companies are saying, the beginning of the year is the right time to do it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's,
it is.
That's
right?
They're not saying they won't do it, so we can't,
Yeah.
we can't
Right,
operate
we-
under the assumption
no, I
that
don't
won't
think we
happen for
should.
16 months, right?
look, I think we should try to conduct this as competently and carefully as we can, and see how that goes. And if we get to work on it, it seems to me that we have a good basis. The next step will be just looking at bids, looking at proposals, and I think Matt's suggestion is a good one. So why don't we have a motion to the effect that we're going to send off models A, B, and this model C, which will be a revision of what I had put in this document on the second
could be
page.
to be.
To use it and get and send this stuff out for bids by the 31st, and I'll be happy to be responsible for doing that. So does anybody
So,
want to make
yeah.
a motion of that kind?
Move to approve the solicitation of bids for the models that we discussed this evening, A, B, and C. Yeah, there's my motion.
Second. Third.
All in favor?
Third.
Say
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Jesus.
Goodbye.
One other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, who from the board is going to help on this? Because that does not feel clear to me.
Yeah,
Right
is
now it's
anybody,
Jason
are
and
any of
Matt.
you able to deal with the interviewing process? That's the stage at which I think we're gonna need. I think the subcommittee can go over the documents.
Yes.
We're gonna have to have some regular meetings. And
Yes.
we,
Right.
and the only reason we didn't have a second was because I ran out of time last week.
For
But
sure.
we should be meeting every week once we have the bids, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And we'll do the numbers and compare the things and, all that. And we'll create, a list of who needs to interview whom. But which of you are gonna be available for interviews? Some of these could be phone interviews. You don't have to necessarily,
No,
I'm
I-
glad
They
to
should
have
all
the
be-
Go
second
ahead.
And interview.
Okay,
I'm
Jenny.
also
okay.
happy.
They should all be phone interviews. You'll
Yeah,
contact
none
them
of
probably
the
by
younger people
email.
do it.
Yeah. Most people are used to phone.
Tyler?
But why is there
You know I have
such
no
why is
social
there
life.
such reluctance from the board members to assist?
I don't have
in
time because my work schedule's so erratic that I never know when I'm working.
We had
week to
3
week,
people
so-
say yes.
So
How
it's
many
mine.
more people do we need
Yeah.
to do it?
Are you gonna have any time?
Well, I can if you wish. How many people are we interviewing?
Well, they asked for more, and
How about we
I
do
was-
this? I will solicit help from everybody who, we've already got,
No.
3 new ones, in addition to the ones who've already been engaged, and we'll send out the clarion call if it turns out that
Right.
we're not getting enough and we've got too many people to talk to.
Jason, could I ask a quick question?
Yes,
please?
Angie.
What companies do you have in mind that they're gonna be interviewing?
We don't have a
list.
complete list yet.
Well, we don't have a short list. It would only be the short list.
Yeah, we don't have a short list yet.
Okay.
If you, if you'd like to be involved, I would be happy to arrange for you to be included in the emails, and because we have had emails about this. There are a number of companies that we've already been
We've got half a dozen
talking
on the long list, but the short list is gonna be small, 3 probably.
Do you know
Right,
who
probably
that
3.
is?
No, they do not know
We
yet.
don't
I
know
mean,
yet.
they-
We don't know yet. That will be determined, I don't see any, we could probably let it float up to 5 or 6, just for purposes of getting the bid.
Well, yeah, we'll get that many bids, but the
No,
short
you're
list is
talking about
what
the short list of
yeah.
ones we're gonna interview, yes, of course. We will be down to 3, there's no way we'll have
Right.
any trouble doing that, and crazy to do otherwise.
Do you know who
Yes.
that is?
Huh?
No.
Not yet.
That's
We
what
can't
the
know
next
who
month
it
is about, is figuring
So
that
right
Depends
now
on
we're
what
doing
they
fact
did.
finding approval to find
Yeah.
out.
When is the next meeting?
A month from now, it's gonna be end
The
of November.
29th?
No, no.
No, it's the
Are you
third
gonna move it?
Thursday.
But it's the third.
Third Thursday.
Yeah,
Isn't-
because of Thanksgiving.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we do have to do it because of Thanksgiving. It's whenever Thanksgiving isn't.
Yeah, let's.
So you
Thanksgiving is
said it was-
22nd. Third Thursday is 15th.
Yeah, it's the 15th, so
We
it's
should
less.
do it on the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only 3
That's
weeks from
fine.
now.
That's fine,
So the
because
next
we will
board
by
meeting's
then
on the 15th.
have some things to report.
And that
Yes.
is mid-November when you want
Yeah,
stuff done anyway.
That's true.
Our next board meeting is November 15th.
Correct.
yes.
Well, I will be out of town on November
Will you?
15th, yes. Because the last time we met, you had said it was gonna be the 29th.
Well, that's what I thought, but
Yeah.
I'm
We just need to
yielding
clip
to
your
the
wings.
Well,
sense of the
I will
conversation.
not be here on the 15th.
So we can make sure that your presence is felt.
Okay,
We
Well,
can
we'll
Skype
make
you
sure
in.
you know what's going
Right,
on.
there are
We're gonna
plenty
figure
of
that out.
options.
I
that's,
motion we
that's a
adjourn.
possibility.
But we'll talk about it. We should actually get another subcommittee
just
meeting
motion to
going
adjourn?
and talk about
We had a
that issue
motion to
there.
adjourn and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Come on!
You look like
You're
Charlie.
already beat up.
No violence on the board.
I think you're out there, so whatever people say.
It's not my job.
I tell you.
Yeah. Well, I wanna, no, you did, and I frankly wanna just see
I'm not even sure what else I'm doing here.
what we